The following is a presentation of Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220 WSLM, your home for exclusive coverage of the West Washington Senators, the Hoosiers, the Boilermakers, the Reds, and the Colts. Now let's go courtside and join the broadcast team for our Senator Tip-Off Pregame Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the friendly confines of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium, where tonight the Senators are looking for a season sweep of the Lions. Salem comes to town sitting at 500 on the year, having lost 4 of their last 5 outings. Meanwhile, the Senators are in the midst of a 6-game winning streak of their own. So tonight it's Creed and Balboa Part 2 as these two bitter rivals prepare to write the next chapter in this rivalry that they have and have had for quite some time, and your countdown to the tip starts now. Hello again, everyone. I'm Misty Jones, and joining me in just a moment for tonight's broadcast of Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220 will be my sidekick and my broadcast partner, Senator Football's own Mark Gibson. Well, for the Senators, they have been living large, in the words of DJ Khaled, because all lately they've been doing is win, 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 no matter what. Whether it's more of an up-tempo setting like last week's game over at Eastern on Tuesday night, or whether it's a physical knock 'em down, drag 'em out slugfest as it was in Leopold on Friday night against the Commodores of Perry Central, Coach Sullivan's ball club has found a way to win in any form or fashion, and a way to get it done down the stretch. And most of that's thanks in part to the Senator defense, which really has stepped up and held their opponents in the 40s through this 6-game win streak after dropping that season opener. However, despite the grooming of the 2-2-1 zone press, which has started to be more and more effective as we roll on through this stretch of games, and they started to get that balance that they need, especially with the junior big three of Bousman, Green, and Strange. You know, as you go toward February, you go toward March, and you look at tournament time, there's a couple of things that really stand out that good teams, or great teams, I should say, do. Number one, that's being able to knock down free throws, being a good team from the line, and they have not been that through this 6-game win streak. And some of that has caused them to be a little close for comfort in some of the games that they shouldn't have been in, or so close in, rather. And the other one is having that killer instinct and mentality, and I just don't think right now this group has displayed that. Do they have it? Are they competitors? Sure. But have they showed that kind of killer instinct? Not to this point, because they've had teams such as Pekin last Tuesday night on the ropes, let them come back right before the half, and then here on Saturday night against Edinburgh, they had the same situation, had a team down at least twice at 14 apiece, and never could deliver that knockout blow to the Lancers on Saturday, despite the win, their 6th straight. So as I welcome in Coach Gibson to our broadcast tonight, one has to wonder just what it'll take for the Senators to, A, get those two things working in their favor and get that mojo as we roll on toward the end of January, trying to get that killer instinct and to correct the free throw woes, but also what's it going to take to get a sweep of the Lions here tonight?
Well, I think there's several factors, 3 that I think are interesting. First of all, we have to make smart decisions. You know, first half last week, or especially Saturday against Edinburgh, when we had them down by 15, 16 points, I think you said we had 4 turnovers at half. You got to make smart decisions if you want to win ball game. Second half, not so much, and that's why the game ended up being closer than what it should have been. We made poor decisions with our passes. We made poor decisions with our shots. So you have to make smart decisions. Second, I think we have to own the boards. We've been very inconsistent rebounding the basketball. First halves especially, it seems like we're not finding guys and putting bodies on them. Second half, we've been doing better, and it seems like we always end up out-rebounding for the game in the 6-game winning streak, but we've had to do it in the second half. So we got to find Meade, we got to find Fleming, we got to limit their second chance points. Finally, you can't let this game just all be about emotion. A rivalry game, You have to play basketball, and you can't let your emotions, you can't let them get out of hand. You know what I mean? You have to play within yourself, play good, smart basketball, and good things will happen.
And that's exactly what happened to the Senators in the championship game of the Holiday Tourney. Despite the win over the Lions in that Holiday Tourney championship game, it was Harrison Sanford who kind of lost control of his emotions a little bit, got teed up at the beginning stages of that second quarter of play, and he set the rest of the game. The Senators, despite foul trouble, was able to grind out a win, and it was largely due in part to not only the play of the other 4 starters that gave valuable minutes, but guys off the bench like Nash Huff as well, who knocked down the 3 monster triples from deep in that third quarter run where they just smoked the Lions in that third period of play. But on the flip side of the coin, Mike Brown's probably felt a little bit more like little Orphan Annie as of late, because it's been a hard knock life for him and his Lions. As I said in the open, they have lost 4 of their last 5, including a split. They finally halted a little losing streak that they had coming out of the break by beating Orleans at home 47-44 on Friday night, but then turned around and took one on the chin down at Crawford County. So they got a PLA split this past weekend, but again, they've dropped 4 of their last 5. And you couple that with the fact that, you know, they had to swallow the loss to the Senators, which is never tough for either one of the, or never easy rather, for either one of these teams to do in this rivalry. It's tough to take a loss in a game like this. You talked about it. Emotions are high. Senators had snapped an 8-game losing streak to the Lions in doing so. So not only did they snap that streak and break their confidence maybe a little bit, send them into a spiral over the holidays and coming out of the holidays, but they also had to know that that was for a championship, something the Lions were able to do against the Senators last year on this very floor. And then you look at their lineup, and you know they got the father-son duo, the transfer from North Harrison, Mason Jones, a guard for this team that's very active. He's usually a starter. He's in a walking boot, going to miss 6 to 8 weeks with a fracture in his foot or something with his ankle that happened in practice just over the break or right after the break. So they're without him. They're a little shorthanded in the backcourt. They got a transfer from Brownstown as well that's not eligible until Friday. So things start to shorten up a little bit on Mike Brown's bench as well. But, Coach, besides a possible lineup change that we're likely to see here tonight, what else do you expect to see differently perhaps this time around against the Lions, or from the Lions?
Well, differently, I don't know. It's like you heard Coach Sullivan talk about it in the pregame. You know, you even asked him about the press. You know, I thought we handled their 3-quarter press pretty well last year. They got a couple of turnovers early against us, if I remember right, in the holiday tournament. But after that, we settled down, and it really didn't affect us. And in fact, we actually scored off of their press a few times. So I don't know. I mean, obviously that's what they do. So we're going to see some of it. But it would surprise me if we saw a ton of it if it wasn't very effective. What was effective at times was that 1-3-1 zone with Meade out front. And he turned a couple of our lazy passes into easy buckets for them, especially in that second quarter where we were just kind of struggled on every facet, you know. So I would expect to see a lot of 1-3-1 with him or Fleming up top. They kind of switched them to see if they can't turn us over. And like Coach Sullivan said, I really would think the way he's playing, they're going to try and limit Jake's touches, I would think, and just hope Parker and Holden don't catch fire from 3, because the way Jake's been our catalyst. Obviously, Holden has been outstanding. Parker's being more aggressive each game. But the way Jake has been playing, I think he's the number 1 guy you have to take away.
And that's the problem for teams like Salem. They have to pick their poison,
right,
and they'll have to do so here tonight. But as always, we want to take a moment during our Senator Tip-Off pregame show to thank you, the fans, for tuning in to tonight's broadcast here on Salem's 1220. Also, if you're tuning in live on YouTube, and also want to thank our sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator basketball possible. And those sponsors include Eddie Gilstrap Motors, bringing you this pregame coverage tonight from the Ron Smith Court, as well as McDonald's. They'll bring you the halftime report, and Ace Hardware will bring you tonight's post-game wrap-up. Papa John's, Meadowview Healthcare, Rodney Bruff Insurance Agency, America Flea Market, Ernstberger Orthodontics, and also for the next game or two, El Camino Restaurant joining the fray as well. When we come back, we'll be joined by Senator head coach Clayton Sullivan. We'll get his thoughts on tonight's rematch with the Lions. But first, as always, we'll pause 60 seconds to hear a word from the Indiana High School Athletic Association. You're listening to the Senators and the Lions here tonight on WSLM.
want to feel goosebumps? Then purchase a ticket to an athletic event at your local high school. You'll be making a lasting difference in your community. Buying a ticket to an IHSAA game or meet helps ensure your school has the funding it needs to operate. New uniforms, safer equipment, transportation. Your ticket purchase helps to pay for it all. You're also helping today's student athletes learn the life skills they need to get better jobs and become better leaders. Plus, you'll see them do some amazing things.
Whoa! Did you see that? Oh, man, I think I just got goosebumps.
Me too.
High school sports. We pay, they play. Everybody wins. This message brought to you by the IHSAA, encouraging you to go to a high school game this week and help build a future that benefits us all.
Welcome back as we continue on with more of this edition of our Senator Tip-Off Pregame Show. It's a midweek showdown and a clash it will be as the Senators and the Lions go at it for a second time in this county rivalry this season. Senators get the better of the Lions in that first meeting, 56-47 in the Holiday Tourney Championship back in December. And we're joined now in our pregame, as always, by Senator head coach Mr. Clayton Sullivan. Coach, your team's rolling, and we talked about it a little bit in the post-game the other night. 6 straight wins now. I know you got to be happy about that, but there's some things like developing that killer instinct that a championship team has to have in February, in March. What do you do to try to, instill that in them in the midst of this very busy portion of the schedule?
We talk to the boys. We just got to continue to talk to the boys about, that's what great teams are about. That's what championship teams do. They take care of the business. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. It's just something we're going to continue to talk about. And, the coaches and staff, we've got that instinct. We want to go out and we want to put, teams that are, subpar, we want to put them away early. If we continue to talk about it and have that type of attitude, we're hoping it translates to the team.
Well, on Saturday night in the win against Edinburgh, 54-48, the final in that one, you do get 3 players once again in double figures, the 3 juniors, Holden, Parker, and Jake. The problem is when you look at the scorebook, there are 4 goose eggs. Your 3 guys off the bench, and Chase and Harrison. Again, a very quiet offensive game with 4. How do you start to bring some of that additional production around and not leave it all on the other 3 shoulders?
Yeah, Chase knows that coming into it, he's not going to be a big-time scorer. If he can chip in a bucket or 2 a game, that's great for us. But a guy like Harrison, we need him to put the ball in the bucket. I'd love for him to be around that, 8 to 12 point a game type of player. And we've discussed with him, right now you're an athlete. You're a great athlete for the team, but we need you to do more. We need you to be more of a slashing type of guy. Your man turns his head when Jake's got the ball. You slash to the middle. If they start running some run and jump stuff at Holden or Parker, be ready to, slash in there and get the ball. And also, he is a great athlete. We've talked to him about getting on the offensive boards, getting, 4 or 6 points a game just from hustle and effort.
Well, you're going to have a chance to maybe correct some of that. And again, another busy week. 3 games this week, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And, of course, it starts tonight with this showdown, this rematch with the Salem Lions, who are on the struggle bus right now a little bit. They've dropped 4 of their last 5, Coach, but, when you look at the lineup and you look at the personnel, of course, there's not a whole lot different in terms of what Mike Brown's team offers, but maybe in getting to see some film of some of their more recent games since that first matchup, what do you maybe see that's a little bit different about this ball club?
The first thing that kind of stands out from their last weekend games would be their lineup change. The Mason Jones boy, the sophomore lefty point guard, really did a lot for him, and he didn't play last weekend, I'm assuming due to injury, but we're going to prepare as if he's going to be there tonight ready to play. That was kind of a big thing we saw, and then, they're playing a little more zone. Okay, they're still trying to do, press and trap. They'll run 2-2-1, they'll run 1-2-2 full court, 1-2-2 half court trap, 2-3 zone, some man trapping stuff. So it's all a lot of similar stuff, but I'm thinking we're going to see a little more zone tonight than we will man-to-man. So that'd be one thing we've seen changed. Offensively, they're kind of doing the same stuff. They're still looking to get out and go in transition. They attack really hard to the rim and look to get those kick-out threes.
You talked about some of those multiple defensive looks. That's a staple of a Mike Brown team. But I thought in that first matchup down in the holiday tourney at Borden, you guys did a nice job of handling pressure, and you were able to kind of see a blueprint of how to work around that full court or three-quarter court pressure from Eastern, who did a nice job as well the night before.
Yeah, it's going to come down to, can we take care of the basketball? We got to, see what they're in. We know what to do against each type of press or defense. And our Holden, Parker, Harrison, those guys got to be floor generals and get the team where they need to be, because I'm sure it's going to be a loud atmosphere for a Wednesday night game. And then we got to attack it. We don't ever want to play on our heels against a pressing team. When we get pressed, we want to get buckets out of it.
You also go back and look at some of the things that stand out, and as we look at the scorebook from that first matchup, one thing that really, pops the eyes for me a little bit, I look at the turnover category, and I had them unofficially for 16 turnovers in that first matchup, 9 of them in the second half, when we were able to go on that run there in the third quarter, and then just 5 for us. So taking care of the ball against that pressure, obviously something you were able to do in that first matchup, but as you said, it's going to be critical, even playing at home, to do so again.
Yeah, it's huge. I think that's what it mainly comes down to. I told the boys, if we take care of the basketball and we attack it and we get, good looks out of it, whether it's layups or inside-out threes, you win. You will win. But if we come out and we're careless with the ball and we play on our heels and we let their pressure dictate what we do, we lose. And that's because we're playing right into their hands. So we got to come out and just be ultra aggressive and look to score in the fast break. And anytime they want to bring pressure in the half court, find the ball to the middle and then attack 4-on-3, 3-on-2 situations.
It was kind of nice in that first matchup. You go back and look, and of course your team's down 25-17. You go into the locker room, and it was an all-out assault in that third quarter by your group. They turned the tide, and from there never really looked back as they outscored the Lions 23-9 in that third quarter. And you get production from several guys, but one of them flying under the radar probably going into the tournament was a guy like Nash Huff, who hit 3 monster shots from downtown for you in that third.
Yeah, it was great to see him step up and, knock those shots down. We came out, we had to adjust the game plan a little bit. We had to play, all zone that second half, and it worked to our advantage. Salem settled against it, and they weren't hitting very well, and our guys were very active in the zone. And then Nash come out offensively, and we told him at the half of that game that they're not guarding you. You've got to be ready to shoot the ball when you get it, and luckily he was there in the third quarter.
Again, we've kind of talked about it. Their personnel pretty much the same, aside from maybe the Jones boy, who may or may not play tonight due to some injury. Didn't play last weekend against 2 other PLAC schools in Orleans, which they won by 3, and then the loss at Crawford on Saturday night. But you know that it all centers around, offensively for them at least, I think, Myron Mead.
Yeah, Myron's a great athlete. He's long. They run a lot of stuff for him. He does a pretty good job attacking the bucket, and he crashes the offensive glass really well. He's kind of hit or miss when it comes to shooting the 3, but if he's on, he can rattle off 2 or 3 in a row. So we got to make sure we're high hand on the catch when he gets the ball, and then it kind of goes off from there. The Jefferson boy had an excellent weekend last weekend against Orleans and Crawford. He was actually shooting the ball really well from the perimeter, and he does a good job of attacking the bucket and trying to get on the glass as well. Petmeyer was ultra aggressive on the film against Orleans. He was really, you could tell, trying to be assertive and get to the rim, and he's doing a good job finishing. So making sure we're containing him and getting a hand in his face as well. And then they started the Howard boy down low. He's a big body, more of a screener type. So we just make sure we box him out, communicate when he's setting the screens. And then I'd like for our bigs to get out and go and transition and beat him down the floor and see if we can get some buckets that way. The McHuron boy, he sets a lot of screens as well, but he is a shooter, so making sure we get a high hand on him as well.
Based on our personnel, of course, guard play, always very intriguing to watch how things develop, just like Perry Central the other night, having Parker and Holden scoreless through the first half. it's kind of interesting to see how each game has its own flow and how those guys adapt. But the one thing that I see is probably a big key, and maybe you agree or disagree here, is the battle of the bigs. You know, in that first game, you know, Fleming, I thought, and Mahurin gave good help to a guy like Howard or even Jefferson at times if they had to switch off, or Meade, whoever it was switching off, getting caught down on the block against Jake. But we were both a little taken aback by how they were trying to defend him in the post and how other teams have as well. Do you see them trying to adjust their game plan with Jake?
Yeah, I expect them to bring doubles. I expect them to bring doubles off of Chase and Harrison, just because, you know, looking at the scorebook here lately, those two aren't really putting up a lot of points. So we've got to adjust to that. We adjusted last night, the offense a little bit, to kind of get some more spacing out there, some more room for Jake to work and make their defense have to travel longer if they want to bring a double. I could see them trying to work to get in front, but if you're not a team that works every day on fronting the post, it could lead to a lot of issues with over-the-top stuff. So I expect double teams to come early and often, but Jake's done a really good job this year. When the double does come, he finds the open guy, and we can work from there.
And that also means good news for guys like Harrison, who might be slashing backside, Holden and Parker, of course, and even a guy like Nash coming off the bench as he did in that first matchup.
Yeah, you know, everybody's got to be ready to play tonight. And when your number's called upon, we need Nash or Lop or Brown, whoever it is. When they come in, they got to be ready to give us serviceable minutes, whether that's, you know, defensively, offensively, passing, taking care of the ball. I'm hoping whoever we call upon tonight, they're ready to go.
Finally, lineup and health of the team.
Lineup's going to be the same as it's been all year. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's excited, ready to play. You'll have Holden and Parker and Harrison at the guard spots, and you'll have Chase and Jake as the bigs.
Coach, best of luck. We appreciate the time as always. Go out and get another one here tonight against the Lions and make it a sweep of the county opponents.
All right, thank you.
Coach Sullivan joins us here on our Senator Tip-Off pregame show for this midweek showdown against the Lions. Stick with us. We'll have more in a moment. You're listening to the Senators and the Lions on Salem's 1220 W.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Back we come to the Ron Smith Court as we wind down the final 70 seconds or so here before the anthem and tonight's opening tip between the Senators and the Lions. Again, as I said in the open, it's Creed and it is Balboa Part 2. Two rivals, bitter rivals at that, and both of them are looking for a W here. Salem needing it a little bit more right now, having lost 4 out of the last 5, but the Senators certainly, this would help kind of push them over the top a little bit and continue to help them grow in the rankings in 1A as well with a win over a 3A school. Tonight's Keys to Victory brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. First and foremost, pressure points. Which team can speed the other one up early and cause some trouble? We know Salem's likely to throw some full court, three-quarter court trap and pressure situations at the Senators. The Senators, can they capitalize, and then can they counter punch with that 2-2-1 pressure that they rolled out during the holiday tourney? Secondly, help from Harrison. You know, this is a game where Harrison's got a chance to prove something, because in that first matchup, after he had to sit for the final 3 quarters, the team somehow found a way to get it done at Borden for the championship, but we've got to have production out of Harrison tonight. And then third and finally, free throws. Can our 2-2-1 possibly...
As a team, your West Washington Senators set the school record for most offensive yards in a season at 5,028, most forced turnovers at 31, most shutouts at 5, and the most victories in a season at 12. This team won the PLAC, the sectional, and regional championships, and is the third football team in school history to make it to the Final Four in Class 1A football. At this time, the team will present to Principal Mary Ann Knapp the Final Four picture that will be hung on the south wall in the T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium with the other West Washington teams that will be remembered for their Final Four seasons. Let's give your 2019 West Washington Senator football team a round of applause.
to that will be 2x4, I believe, picture and edition of Coach Bausman as well. That will be attached forever to that picture. So this team will live on, and it will certainly be remembered for years to come, as they will get a chance to display that proudly now for the foreseeable future, as long as the friendly confines remain standing. So it's nice to see all the boys out on the floor to accept that Final Four Regional Sectional Championship team photo with the coaches and players and team members on it. So as we wind down here, we'll get ready to have our national anthem. That means we're going to step aside and hear a word from our pregame sponsor, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, again just south of the square there in Salem, as they brought you tonight's Keys to Victory and Senator Tip-Off pregame show. And when we come back, we'll have tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, and we'll have the opening tip between the Senators and Lions. It's the rematch everyone's been waiting. Midweek showdown as the Senators and Lions get ready for the sequel. The Senators claim the first one in the Holiday Tourney Championship with a 56-47 win down at Borden High School in mid to late December. Holden and Jake had 18 apiece in the win for West Washington. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. First for Mike Brown, 19-16 in his second season at Salem. He owns a 492 win to 274 loss record overall in his 33rd season. His team averages and gives up the same amount, 55.9. Their last outing was a 76-65 loss at Crawford on Saturday. They'll start a two-guard set. Number 2, Brody Petmeyer, 6'2 junior, starts at the point. He'll be joined by 6'5 senior, number 4, Myron Mead in the backcourt. At the 3 spot will be 23, Isaiah Jefferson, a 6'4 junior. 32, Shane Mahurin, a 5'11 senior, will start at the other forward. And in the middle will be 50, Trell Howard, a 6'3 junior for the Lions. 4, Clayton Sullivan in the Senators. Coach Sullivan 16-17 now in his second season. His team averages 54.5, and they give up 47.5 points per contest. They're coming off of a 54-48 win against Edinburgh here on Saturday night, their 6th straight win. He'll start a two-guard set, a true two-guard set, that is. Holden Bausman at 6'2 and a junior starts at the point, averaging 17 points and nearly 6 boards, 6 assists, and 4 steals per game, lighting it up. He'll be joined in the backcourt by his running mate, Parker Green, number 12, a 6'1 junior at 9.9 points per game and 3.5 boards. Number 3, Harrison Sanford, will be the point forward at the 3 spot. He's a 6'3 senior at 4.5 points per game and 4.5 rebounds. Chase Farmer starts at the other forward, 6'2 and a senior at 1.5 points and 4 boards per game. And in the middle, 32, Jake Big Dog Strange, 6'5 and a junior, averaging 16.5 points per game and 6.5 rebounds for Coach Sullivan and his team, coming in with a 6-1 record on the year. Salem coming in with a 5-5 mark. Salem will be in the road black uniforms trimmed in white and gold letters and numerals with the lion head on the back in between the shoulder blades. Senators will be in those home white Under Armour unis trimmed in red and blue letters and numerals trimmed in red. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials are Mr. Brian LaRoche, who he had at Perry last Friday night, as well as Craig and Daniel Starr. Brian LaRoche steps to center court on the flying W. It'll be Meade and Strange to tip it out, and it'll go to the Lions here as we get things underway. As the Lions look at a little man-to-man defense from the Senators to start things out. Just underway. Glad to have you along with us here in this opening quarter. No score. Salem controlled the tip, and they have it first. Misty Jones alongside of Coach Mark Gibson. Petmeyer out front, picked up by Bousman, leaves it off for Howard. Looked at the post, couldn't get it to anyone, so it'll go right back to Petmeyer, who slides around, and they'll get Holden on the pickpocket out front. This will be his first and the team's first foul, and our game's first of the night. Just 33 seconds in.
Just that early, that may take a little bit of aggression out of Holden's defense. You don't want to pick that first one up so early.
I don't care if Holden gets 3 in this first quarter. You got to play him.
Absolutely.
You got to trust your guy to get the job done, and you can't have him sitting on the bench. Meade back out top to Petmeyer. Takes a high screen. It's going to be an illegal screen. Trail Howard through the hip into Holden, so that'll be turnover number 1 of the night for either ball club. And for Howard, his first personal team foul, number 1. And the Lions now will apply some full court pressure. They'll go a little double nickel, a little 55 man-to-man full court. Farmer gets it to Sanford in the middle now to Holden, who gets it cross court to Parker. Drives in, 14-foot jumper, air ball, and it comes into the hands of Shane Mahurin. They'll push ahead quickly. Jefferson with it. He'll spin, nowhere to go, has to kick it out, and the Lions will slow it up and cycle back through. Just over a minute gone by in this first quarter of play. Mahurin with it left wing, kicks it back out now to Meade. Meade, couple of dribbles, gives it back on the little flip over to Mahurin. Jefferson far side, picked up by Parker. Tough fadeaway jumper won't go, and the rebound cleared by Chase Farmer on the weak side. Holden looks to push in transition. He'll get into the paint, kick out to Harrison. He'll give it right back. Swinging around now on the baseline to Farmer. Sends it cross court. Back out top. Harrison to Holden. In and out, no good on the 3. And the rebound pulled down by Petmeyer on the far side. Jefferson in transition. Slows it up to Petmeyer. Now around the horn it goes to Meade. Right side. Dribble drive take. He'll go with the law of verticality against Harrison. And that one no good. Ball tipped away. Turnover number 1 for the Senators in transition as they tried to feed ahead. Petmeyer then loses the handle, Holden nearly with the swipe, and it's Parker instead who gets the steal on the errant pass to Howard as the business starts to pick up here in this first quarter. Parker to Holden, around the horn it goes now to Harrison. Each team with a foul, each with a turnover, but no points to this juncture. Nearly 2.5 gone by. Jake on the kick out, they'll swing it around. Holden, deep 3, right side. That one off the mark, no good. Rebound will carry him off the hand of Harrison and out to Parker. Parker in the corner, back to Harrison on the wing. 2-man game of pitch and catch. Howard with the blatant shove right in the back. Howard will have a seat with 2 quick ones. It was a blatant shove in the back, from the small of the back, that is, to Jake, trying to get him off the block. And Howard's a big boy, but he's struggling playing behind him, and we wondered if they would try to do that.
Yeah, and it's like that forces, and we talked about their bench isn't super extra long to begin with. Now they have foul trouble early, so that's advantage Senators.
Into the
if
game.
we can get something to drop.
Into the game is Gavin Fleming. Fleming is a 6'1 senior. Had good minutes against the Senators in the Holiday Tourney Championship, but him and Meade both battled foul trouble late. Holden, little runner, off the back iron, won't go. Rebound fought for, and Fleming comes out of there with it. Leads on 3-on-3 break. Petmeyer tries to swing through, has it swiped by Holden. Turnover number 2 for the Lions. Holden, 3-on-2 break. Leads it for the big dog. Nice pump fake. Couldn't get it to go. Farmer with the rebound. Out to Parker. Now to Holden. Stops, pops. Jumper for the baseline is good. And Holden has the Senators on the board first. 50 ball movement by the Senators and good extra effort to get another opportunity.
Yeah, we're getting good looks. Can't get anything to fall till that Bousman on the baseline. So getting good looks. You just got to keep pumping them up there.
Lions with 2 fouls, both of them on Howard as he sets on the pine. Fleming comes in as the 6th man for the Lions. Senators still rolling with their starters. Bousman, Green, Sanford, Farmer, and Strange. Senators back to more of a matchup 2-3.
Yeah, it had been showing man-to-man up until this point.
Again, nice crowd on hand. Good cheer block for both groups. That shot by Jefferson may have been partially blocked by Parker.
I think it was.
Holden clears the rebound. tracks it down, gets it into the front court now. He'll get it back from Harrison on the give and go. Cross court, Parker, three, bang, got it to go. Parker with his first shot of the night, and the Senators are out to a 5-0 lead, 3:54 and counting first quarter.
Man, when he catches it in rhythm like that, and it's usually Holden finding him, little half step to gather, boy, it's pretty.
Petmeyer out front, slows it back up in between the circles. Now he'll send it off right side to Mihurin. Kicks it back out to Jefferson, over to Petmeyer in front of the Senator bench. He picked up by Harrison in that shifting zone underneath. Fleming had his shot blocked by Jake. Comes off to Parker. Brown wanted a foul. It was a clean strip. He'll talk to LaRoche, but to no avail. Parker out front, gives it off to Harrison. He'll take it now far side to Holden. Holden back to Harrison in the corner. Nearly lost the handle. Will try to kick it back out. Holden tries to save it, but it'll be an over and a back. So 2 turnovers apiece for each team here. 3:11 to go, first quarter of play, and the Senators out to a 5-0 lead.
Again, that was just kind of uncertainty, kind of an uncertain pass to the corner to Harrison. Kind of bobbled a little bit. He felt he was falling out of bounds, so he had to throw it back out towards the half court. Holden wasn't quite ready for it, and it's over and back on D. Oh, there's the lob.
There's the lob we saw in the first half of the game against them in the holiday tourney, and it goes to Meade. So Salem has their first 2 of the night. Make it now a 5-2 advantage for the Senators early, just under 3 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Parker, short corner, right side on the rip through. Farmer drives and tries to kick, and he'll be called for the offensive foul. So that'll be a turnover, and his first of the night. So Holden and Chase with a personal apiece.
Not sure that's the perfect place we want Chase driving on the baseline there, trying to make plays.
Grant Mahiran, a 6-foot sophomore, will check in at the next dead ball for the Lions as they try to already go 7 deep. Senators yet to sub in this one. Jefferson, near side on the wing, looks at Meade through the paint. Can't get it to him, so they go back to Mahiran on the far wing. Back out to Meade, who drives from Mahiran. Little floater, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Strange. Harrison will look to push in transition down the middle of the floor. Stops, gives it off to Parker. Steps into a 3. Got it to go. But they'll call a travel on the extra step on the gather. That'll be turnover number 4 for West Washington. And the Senator Bluebirds across the way over by the band, letting the Stars have it.
Was that a travel? I don't know. I mean, he just didn't dribble.
I've seen it called and not called. You'd like to, as a shooter, be able to catch it like that and not have to put it on the deck so you go in rhythm. Fleming out front, high pass, gathers it in, gives it off to Meade, who drives in top of the key. Gives it back to Petmeyer, trying to use the fancy dribble. He'll give it back to Meade out top, picked up by Farmer. Screen offered by Mahiran. They'll give it off now. Grant Mahiran, middle of the floor, gives it off to Petmeyer for his first 3 of the night. Brody Petmeyer's on the board, and we're tied for the first time officially at 5 apiece. Ball deflected out of bounds in front of the Senator cheer block, and the Senators will reset it. $1:37 to go here. Opening quarter of play in a 5-5 ball game. Jefferson will check in, and Meade will check out, so we'll see if we capitalize here with Meade off the floor with those long arms, always looking for a backside block on the help side. Parker to inbound. He'll finally get it in to Holden. They'll clear out, let him bring it up against a familiar face in Petmeyer. They've done battle since elementary. They'll go left side. Parker has it. Looks at a cutter across the baseline. That's Harrison. Gets it back out top. Holden with it now. Works against Grant Mahiran and gives it back. And now we'll get it one more time from Harrison. Little flare out top. Parker couldn't get a shot off. Harrison has it. Looks at a partial double team for just a second. Holden has it. They'll feed down low to Jake. He'll spin baseline. Had good position. Could not finish. And Jefferson will push in transition. And that's a carry and a half. And he'll be whistled for it. Turnover number 3 for the Lions. And here comes Meade right back into the ballgame with 58.5 seconds to play in the quarter. Petmeyer will have a seat on the pine.
This has not been an offensive clinic so far. 5-5 with 58.5 to go. But again, it's a lot of defense being played right now.
Shades of the slugfest we watched in Leopold last Friday night. Parker for 3, right wing, got it to go. Parker's got 2 made baskets from deep. Give the Senators now an 8-5 advantage. No lead changes, just one tie thus far. Just seconds ago at 5 apiece. Senators with the 8-5 advantage coming up on a half minute to play first quarter.
A little 2-3 zone.
Comes out to
Gotta
match
watch
up
that
out
lob
of the
again,
2-3.
back screen.
Meade, though, out top this time instead of roaming the baseline from the corner. Meade has it. Brown calls for the high post. They get Mahurin in the high post. They go to Grant Mahurin, now to Shane, and he'll drag the pivot foot for turnover number 4 for the Lions, so the Senators will have the last crack at it. Plus, they'll have the ball coming out of the quarter break as long as there's not a tie-up. Petmeyer in, Mahurin out after the turnover, and he will get ripped by Brown on his way to the bench.
See what the Senators have here. If they will try and look for something quick with 16 seconds. Or
16.2 to go. Parker gets it in to Harrison and gets it back. He'll bring it up against Grant Mahurin and now
Looks
leave it
like
off
it.
for Holden. Under 10 seconds to go. Going to have to go quick. They set it into motion. Harrison back to Holden. Holden gets into the high post. Parker stops, pops three. Couldn't get it to go. It would have been one crazy bank shot. Just rimmed out. Would not go, but the first quarter will come to a close with the Senators in front. A low-scoring slugfest as expected. 8-5 after the first quarter of play. We'll step aside, take a break. We'll hear a word from Meadowview Healthcare in Salem and come back with second quarter action right after this.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care. Not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Back we come for second quarter action. Senators had the last shot of the quarter, a three-pointer that nearly banked in. Parker tried to bank it off the glass. It rimmed around and spit back out as time expired, but the Senators will have it here to open the second quarter of play, operating with an 8-5 advantage, but a good first quarter for the Senators.
Absolutely, and again, we watched, like I talked about in the pregame, you got to, in the first halves of our games, we've been kind of inconsistent on the boards, but we actually led that quarter 6-5.
Comes a little 1-2-2 half-court trap action. Holding into the paint, gets a little runner to go off the window, and with the smooch off the glass, he's got 4, make it now 10-5. Senators matching their largest lead of the night thus far at 5. Petmeyer back in transition with it. It'll slow it up and let him get set in a 1-4 high. Now they'll shift guys around. They'll go a little clear out here. Instead, now they even it back up at 2 apiece. Cutters through the paint here as the Senators kind of match up out of this zone. Parker steps out to guard Jefferson. And Coach Sullivan all over Parker because he left Mahurin alone for a moment in the corner, and Brown was pleading for Jefferson to go that way. Grant Mahurin back out top now, gives it off to Meade. 1 minute gone by here in the second quarter of play. Jefferson takes a deep three, and that one's long and off the mark, but he tracks down his own board. Kicks it back to Petmeyer. He thought about a long three from the same spot instead. Kicks it back out now, and he'll slow it up against this matchup zone.
Senators playing very hard defensively, and that's where those second chance opportunities get you.
Underneath, Fleming thought better of it with his back to the basket against Strange. Shot missed by Jefferson again. Rebound cleared down by the Senators. 10-5, Senators in front. Minute and a half gone by in the second. Harrison.
Go.
Nice crossover. Lost Mahurin. Line drive. Two-pointer will go, and it was deep. Said Harrison was going to have to produce, and there's his first 2 of the night, making a 12-5 lead.
That's nice to see that go through.
7.
He needs some confidence. So,
and it was a line drive, though. Looked like it was going right through the rim. And I don't mean through the cylinder. I mean literally through the metal ring. Leaves it off short corner, right side. Jumper long and off the mark. No good for Mahurin. Rebound off to Fleming. He'll go up against 2 Senator defenders and put it back in. Make it 12-7. 5 minutes to go. Coach Sullivan now getting after his guys a little bit. Shane Mahurin will check in next dead ball for Coach Brown's ball club. Harrison surveys the damage, gives it off to Parker, who works against Meade. Two-man game, a pitch and catch between Sanford and Green as they go now left side to Holden. Back out top to Harrison, to Parker. Patient and deliberate here on the perimeter on this possession. Looking for cutters through the paint as the Senators go into their motion set. Trying to spread the Lions out a little bit. Mahurin comes out to play Parker. Gets it safely. They'll flare it across now. Harrison back to Holden. Drives into the high post. Kicks out to Parker. He drives. Nice feed down low and a good cut backside by Harrison. Harrison's got 4, matching his season average of 4.5. Halfway home nearly here in this second quarter, and it's a 14-7 advantage for West Washington.
That was a great cut, like you said, Harrison. Parker doing his little spin move into the lane. He sees a cutter.
Meade, quick 3, left side, that one long. Holden skies for the board, and he'll be ripped and fouled. Grant, Mahurin, and Jefferson both there. They're going to get Jefferson for the personal. That'll be his first, team foul number 3. Senators have committed 2 to this juncture. Farmer and Bousman with 1 apiece. Jefferson has a seat. They're going to roll the dice with Howard to try to match size with Jake down low. And it's going to be a timeout on the floor with 4:01 to go here in this second quarter of play. It's a timeout for Coach Sullivan and his crew. It'll be a full timeout, so we'll step aside and get one in as well. You're listening to the Senators against the Lions tonight on your leader for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM 1220 on that AM dial.
Come visit America Flea Market in Salem. We've got over 22,000 square feet of treasures and one of the largest indoor flea markets in Kentuckiana. Located at 110 Progress Boulevard in Salem, we're one of the ultimate destinations for picking and saving and a fun place to shop. We have over 70 vendors and a huge selection of new, used, antique, primitive, and vintage items. Beat the heat. Stop in our air-conditioned store. Come and see us Tuesday through Sunday. We open up at 11 a.m. America Flea Market, where pickers pick and shoppers save.
We come for more second quarter action out of the timeout by Coach Sullivan and the Senator coaching staff. 4:01 to play here, halfway through this second quarter. Senators with their largest lead of the night at 7, a 14-7 advantage as they go cross court on the full court press break. Harrison gets it, slows it up. Howard giving him plenty of space. Dangerous pass back out to Holden, and Mahurin with the swipe goes to the other end. They're going to get Holden for a second personal foul. So that'll be team foul number 3. Holden will have 2. You got to leave him on the floor, Coach. See if they look to try to attack him now, depending on whether or not we stick with this zone or not. 3:49 to go, second quarter.
That all starts off a turnover, on the offensive side. That doesn't happen if you
if Trev Howard is going to play Harrison 4 feet off and give him the 3, let him shoot it.
Yep.
Harrison can shoot that shot. Now, I'm not saying do it on the first pass, but he can't be complacent against that much of a cushion.
Right.
Either that or dribble, drive, and attack Howard and make him pay. He's already got 2 personals. Petmeyer working against Holden. Another tough screen out top by Howard. And the Lions turn it over for their 6th time. Holden to the other end, gets fouled. It's Meade that tries to block it. This will be team foul number 4 on the Lions. And this will go on Meade, his first of the night. Jefferson will check back in after the first free throw attempt from Holden. Holden on the year, 34 of 47, 72% free throw shooter, averaging 17 a game, 6 boards, 6 assists, and 4 steals. He's been lighting it up. And that one bounces off the front iron, the right side, and then spits out. Holden's got 4 on the night, looking for his 5th point. This would give their Senators the largest lead at 8 if he can convert. Second one on the way is good. So he's got his 5th point. The Senators have a 15-7 advantage. Jefferson will be trapped now out front. He'll kick it across to Meade. Grant Mahurin with it now. Working out there with Meade, Jefferson, Shane Mahurin, and Sherrell Howard underneath. They find Howard. Quick ball movement. Howard picks up a rare 2. Make it 15-9. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Holden back into the front court now. Drops it off to Parker. They'll kick it cross court. Harrison gives it right back to Holden on the far side. They'll kick it out to Jake. Now over to Farmer, to Harrison, back to Parker. Good ball movement. Another dangerous pass, though. Mahurin coming out to try to give Holden a bunch of trouble. Underneath, Jake, nice move. Fell away from it a little bit on the kick out, offensive rebound. 3 won't go. Farmer to fight for the board backside. 4 versus 4. Meade gets the better of that one as he comes down with the board. 15-9. He'll drive into the paint. Contact, and it's going to be an offensive player control foul. And Brown cannot believe it. Neither can the Salem fans. And I thought they were going to get Chase for the bump. Chase going to play good defense getting back and draw the second personal on Meade. So Meade has 2. Howard has 2. 5th personal whistled against the Lions. Coming up on a 2-minute warning here. So it'll match up 2-3.
So similar to last Friday at Perry.
So it'll match up 2-3 for the Lions. Jake kicks it out. Little crow hop into the paint. Harrison will be whistled for the travel. He's just got to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
He's just got to go. Petmeyer will check back in. 2:06 to play. Senators up 15-6. Low-scoring battle. Again, great crowd on hand. Full house here at Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium. Again, glad to have you along with us for the ride tonight. Senators in action tonight. They'll have a double-dip weekend as well. So 3 games in the span of 4 days in the midst of this wild 8 games and 18-day stretch. Meade out front. Takes a screen from Fleming. He'll roll. They'll go back out now to Jefferson. Thought about 3. They'll feed it down low to Fleming. He'll spin against Strange 2 times. Has his shot partially blocked. Underneath, Howard. I tell you what, here's the thing. Howard's got a big body, but he's not an offensive threat, point blank. You know that on the scouting report. All you got to do is keep him off the boards. You make him look like an all-star otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. He did this last year when we went down there. I think it was the opening game. We made him look like Charles Barkley.
Free throw on the way. Threw up a brick, and Holden claims the rebound. 15-11. Little 4-point spurt here for the Lions. Parker has it. Far side, he had space. Not sure why he didn't shoot it. Back to the zone matchup for the Lions. Holden with a baseline jumper. Left side silences the Salem fans momentarily. He's got 7, and it's a 17-11 score. Senators will trap out front. Jefferson with it. Double team. Parker with the near steal on the backside. Deflects it into the hands, though, of Petmeyer, waiting for it near the timeline. Meade with it on the near side. Back out to Petmeyer as he works it on the flying W between the circles. Sends it off right side, way out top to Jefferson, and they try to feed down low to Fleming again. And I'm not sure what the game plan is. They haven't been able to get Jake in any foul trouble to this juncture with under a minute to play, and they're allowing Gavin Fleming at 6'1" to play with his back to the basket against Jake. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm just kind of worried about.
If you're going to do that, do it with Howard.
Right. Howard's been backside. That's why I was kind of afraid that because Parker was guarding him on the backside of that zone. I was like, oh boy, this is a physical matchup.
Nash Huff will get a breather here as Holden's got 2. Don't want to get a cheap little nickel dimer here with about 40 seconds to play. Out front, Jefferson works the dribble, gets into a double team. Jake had the block on the help side. Going to get him, I think, maybe on the follow-through, barely on the wrist.
I thought it was a good call. I thought Jake, initial, good block, but then on the follow-through, got his hand. Close.
So right on cue, Jake picks up his first team foul number 5 for the Senators. Lions have committed 5 as well. Jefferson to the line, knocks the first down. That's his first point of the ball game, making a 17-12 score. Holden will come back in for offense here, trying to get the last possession, and Huff will check back out. 5'8" junior gets a solid, 20 seconds of play. Jefferson knocks them both down. We'll have a sub. Grant Mahurin back in for Jefferson, who knocks down the 2 free throws. So it's Meade, Fleming, Howard out there with Petmeyer and Grant Mahurin. Starting 5 on the floor for the Senators. Bousman, Green, Farmer, Sanford, and Strange. 25 seconds to play in this first half. Senators up by 4. They've led by as many as 8 in this low-scoring battle. See if they can be patient here. To work the motion. Under 15 seconds to play now. Holden out front, lays it off to Harrison. Petmeyer nearly got the steal. Holden underneath, nice feet. Counted and one for the big man, Jake Strange. He leaves it off. Beautiful feet to Jake, and he kissed it off the glass for two.
Yeah, they went for the Petmeyer, went for the steal out front, and here's Holden very intelligently said, okay, they're a man down. I'm driving the middle of the lane, and he had either way. He could have dropped off to Farmer, could have dropped off to Jake.
That's big because that's the third on Howard. Jake couldn't finish the old-fashioned three-point play, so it's a 19-13 score. Fleming in transition with the three. Got it to go as time's going to expire, so the Senators will go into the locker room with a 19-16 lead, a low-scoring battle. Just as we expected, this was going to be a slugfest, and it has been through the first 16 minutes of play. We'll step aside, take a break here from a couple of sponsors, and we'll come back with our Senator Halftime Report, brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
At American Family Insurance, we know your life has many moving parts, from your four wheels to your hard-earned home and the financial future of your family. We'll cover the things that matter most. Bundle your home and auto policies for possible savings and add life insurance for convenient, future-focused protection so you can keep dreaming towards what's next. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
For details, contact Rodney Bruff, agent at Rodney S. Bruff Agency, Incorporated. Call 812-277-1400 or stop by 1528 L Street in Bedford today.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup. And the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Back to the Ron Smith Court we come, where it's halftime between the Senators and the Lions, and the Senators own the 19-16 advantage here at the half. They have led this entire time, other than a brief tie at 5 apiece here this evening. Let's look at the scoring in this first half. First for the visiting Lions with 16 points on the board here at the half. They get 3 from Brody Petmeyer in the first quarter of play, 2 for Myron Mead in the first quarter, so doing a nice job on Mead, who hurt us a little bit in the holiday tourney. Isaiah Jefferson with 2 off of those 2 free throws late in the second quarter of play. Terrell Howard with 4 at the half. Shane Mahurin, the only starter who did not tally in that first half of play. Gavin Fleming with 5 off of the bench leads the Lions, and Grant Mahurin played most of that first half but was unable to tally for Salem. They go 2 of 3 from the stripe for 67% in the first half of play, and they commit 6 turnovers in that first half, 4 of those 6 coming in that first quarter of play. Meanwhile, for the Senators at the half, 19 points on the board with the 3-point lead. just announced Jensen Links. He got the athletic prowess of his daddy, and Jensen wins the Chuck-a-Duck tonight. So proud Papa Jared Links brings Jensen across the way, and Jensen going to take home $25 in his pocket tonight. Congrats to the kindergarten student in Miss Beth Boyles' room here at West Washington Elementary, and congrats to a proud Papa as well. Here at the half, though, Holden Bousman has 7 to help pace the Senator attack, followed by 6 from Parker Green off a couple of made three-pointers in the first quarter of play. Harrison Sanford has 4, Jake Strange with 2. Chase Farmer played and started but did not tally in the first half of play. Nash Huff come off the bench for about 20 seconds or so, give or take, but did not score in that appearance. Brown and Lopp have yet to come in for the Senators here in this low-scoring affair. Senators do turn it over 5 times, much like the Lions. 4 of their turnovers came in that first quarter of play, but both teams doing a much better job of settling down, taking care of the rock in that second quarter of play. And the Senators, like the Lions, shoot 3 from the free throw line, but they only connect on 1 of 3. Instead, the Lions go 2 of 3 for 67%. Senators just 33% from the line. Senators led at 8-5 after the first quarter. They tie the Lions at 11 apiece in the second frame. That gives them the 19-16 advantage on the board here at the half, despite having a couple of 7-point advantages and one brief lead at 15-7, giving them that 8-point cushion. We'll step aside and get word from one of our sponsors, and we'll come back and have the rest of the stats from this first 16 minutes of play with Coach Gibson right after this. You're listening to the Senator Halftime Report, brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem.
Start the new year with some free food from your friends at El Camino's in Salem. Come in and get a free taco Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. only. When you purchase any of our taco meals, you'll get an extra taco for free. Promotion valid online purchases or dine-in. Check out all the great meals and deals through the week at El Camino's in Salem. Follow them on Facebook or keep your radios tuned to WSLM for more great specials. Call 812-586-0199 or stop in at 403 South Main Street in Salem. Open 11 to 9 Sunday through Thursday and until 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays.
Back we come for the rest of our Senator Halftime Report, and here to bring you the rest of the first half stats, the maestro of stats and numbers, our own Coach Gibson.
All right. Thanks for that right here beside the Ron Smith court. Senators up 19-16. 19-16 the ball game. There's not a ton of stats to look at, but and they're very even. But Senators shoot 6 of 12 inside the arc for 50%, 2 of 5 downtown for 40, for a total of 8 of 17 from the field tonight in the first half for 47%. Both offenses being very deliberate. So I mean, those are good numbers, just not a lot of them. Salem on the other side goes 4 of 12 inside the arc for 33%. Just like the Senators, they 2 of 5 from downtown, including that buzzer beater at the end of the first half to pull them within 3. So 40% from three-point land for a 6 of 17 total for the Lions for 36%. So again, both teams being very deliberate. Both teams are sitting down in those Senators playing a little matchup zone. And, you know, the Lions playing a zone of their own. So both teams being very deliberate. Not a ton of turnovers. Not getting to the line very much, as Coach Jones says, 3 apiece. So again, rebounding edge goes to Salem, 11-10. Both teams with 3 offensive rebounds, 8 assists for West Washington to just 4 for Salem. So winning the assist battle, meaning we're getting a lot of good offense going. But again, stats very even, as you would expect in a 19-16 ball game. Got 1:20 to go before we resume here. But I expect another half just like that. Low scoring, very physical, like we saw last Friday at Perry, and whoever makes the I'd say least amount of turnovers probably wins this ball game.
I would agree with that. We got about a minute left. We'll step aside here, a word from Ernstberger Orthodontics, and we'll come back with the third quarter of action right after this.
Hello, hello, it's Dr. Seth again from Ernstberger Orthodontics. Now, we've been tackling crooked teeth and bad bites with braces and Invisalign out of our Salem location for a while, and we absolutely love coming to the new office. We're so pumped to be able to offer a local option for folks wanting to improve their smile without so much driving and missed work and school. Not to mention, we're loving getting to know and support the wonderful Washington County schools, teams, and communities. When it's time for you or your family, smile with us at Ernstberger Orthodontics in New Albany and now Salem.
Back we come here to start the third quarter of play. The Lions will have it to start the third. An eventful halftime for us here with our Senator halftime report. Again, Jensen Links, kindergartner here in Beth Boyles' room here at West Washington, wins the Chuck-a-Duck tonight. So family passed on the legend of Chuck-a-Duck to Jared and crew.
You've kind of retired the Chuck-a-Duck, but again, in the blood, I guess.
Passed it along. Sarah Jo Huff wins the split the punt tonight as well. So they said a busy halftime here, but back to action. Senators with a 19-16 advantage coming out of the half, and the Senators will be moving on your 1220 AM dial in this second half from right to left as Farmer comes up with a steal. Turnover number 7 of the game for the Lions to open the half. Holden slows it up, gives it to Parker, gets it right back, splits a double team. Parker steps into a 16-footer straight away. It won't go. And Farmer there to fight for a rebound with Trail Howard, who's got 3 personals. And on the jump ball, it'll go to the Senators. So a great hustle effort there on both ends by Chase to come up with the steal and force the jump ball. Howard will check out and Fleming quickly into the ball game.
Yeah, you like to see that. And coaches mention it, and he knows it. He's not a big scorer, but those are the plays we need Chase to make.
If you could steal 4 or 5 points a game out of Chase and you get defense and rebounding, that's all you can ask for.
Got 2 steals and 2 rebounds so far.
There you go. Right on pace for where he normally is. Parker with it on the near side in front of Coach Sullivan, trying to feed down low to Jake. He turns, kicks out. Holden, 3. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound fought for. Chase comes up with it on the putback. Couldn't get it to go. Fought for his own rebound again, but it's Shane Mahurin who pulls it out. Off to Jefferson, quickly in the front court. Meade goes down low. And a big rejection by the big dog as he swats one from Fleming. And on the rebound putback, it's Jefferson. Has his first basket of the night. The Lions, the closest they have been in quite some time. It's a 19-18 ball game. Minute and a half gone by here in the third.
Again, just one of those situations. Big dog got the block. And
quick double, nice feed on the kick out. And Farmer's baseline jumper left side wouldn't go. Nice feed though from Jake, recognizing the double as he spun to the basket. On the kick out, Shane Mahurin, a rare 3. That one off the mark, no good. Rebound fought for, and Holden comes out of there with it. He's double teamed, splits traffic, gives it off to Farmer in the front court. Now to Harrison. Harrison stops, tries to feed to Jake. Turnover number 6 for the Senators. Into the other end, Petmeyer will get the layup. And for Petmeyer, he's got 5, and more importantly, Senators have given up the lead. Salem has their first lead of the night at 20-19. And Coach Sullivan now will get into his guys. 30-second timeout called for Coach Sullivan and company. 5:57 to play in a 20-19 game. Lions enjoying their first lead here of the ball game. We'll step aside real quick for station identification. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Back beside Ron Smith Court here, the 20-19 deficit now. So basically the Lions have come out and taken the lead on the Senators. I think Big Dog had a 3-foot jump shot that he passed up to give to a 10-foot jumper for Farmer on the baseline. You got to take the easy shot.
Parker off to Holden on the left side, drives baseline, kicks it out. Parker pump faked on a three. He'll kick out to Harrison. He'll drive in now. Nowhere to go with it. They'll send it back in the corner or try to. Pass was picked off as they tried to feed Holden. Turnover number 7 for the Senators. Each team was 7. Holden with the deflection. Harrison gets the steal, and then he's fouled and knocked to the floor. Great effort to get back. Turnover number 8 now for the Lions.
Again, we talked about it pregame. Decision making. You can't have lazy passes. We turned it over twice here on bad passes. Okay, in a low-scoring game, it was like we just said a minute ago, turnovers are going to be very costly.
Matchup 2-3 look, and the Senators are going to turn it over once again. So 3 turnovers out of the gate for the Senators and not a point scored. Coach Sullivan, hands on the hip, goes back to looking for answers here in this third quarter. 2-2-1 pressure. Petmeyer dribbles through it, gives it off to Fleming now in the corner, back out to Petmeyer. Coming up on 3 minutes gone by here in the third. Salem again with their first lead of the night at 19-20. Senators working the matchup 2-3 themselves. They shift around out top. Petmeyer gets it on the reversal left side. Back out to Jefferson to Petmeyer. 2-man game. As Petmeyer will bring it back out and reset. Senators continue to match up out of this zone look. Shane Mahiran with it. One dribble, gives it off. And it's going to be a kick ball. Parker and Holden both there. Get hands and feet in the passing lane on the post attempt, or the feed to the post rather. 4:38 to go. Lions will reset it. By the way, the Senators fell in JV action tonight, 46-37, dropping them to 2-6 on the year. 4.5 to play in the third. Salem with it. They'll flare backside. Fleming gets it. Drives into traffic. Wild shot. Left it short. Rebound fought for. And it caroms off to Parker, who got mugged on the far side. He'll push it in the front court. Harrison with it. He'll slow it up and be picked up out top here. Back to the matchup zone for the Lions as well on this trip. Halfway home here in the quarter. Senators nearly turn it over again. Harrison with it, in trouble. Spins, gives it off to Farmer. Senators very unsure and lax with the basketball.
Yeah, they need to settle down. Again, we talked about it. Can't let emotion get the better of it.
Parker drives in, 15-foot jumper, won't go. The big dog with the rebound and then a blocking foul from behind. Jefferson tried to swipe it. This will be the second foul of the half.
0 of 5 from the floor.
0 of 5, 3 turnovers, 3:44 to play. Howard will check back in with Grant Mahiran after this first attempt from the big dog. Jake 0 for 1 on the night. Foul on Jefferson is his second. Team foul number 2, like I said, of the half. Substitutions. Here comes Howard and Mahiran. And it'll be Jefferson and Meade who have a seat. So Mahiran and Howard in there with Shane Mahiran. So Shane and Grant both in. Gavin Fleming and Petmeyer. Farmer out on the floor with Sanford, Green, Bausman, and Strange. Strange missed the first, now 0-2 on the night. That one up ain't good. So Jake's got 3, well below his season average of 16.5 points per game. But we're tied back up for the second time tonight at 20 apiece. Petmeyer with it near side, swings it around now to Mahiran, gets it back out top. Grant Mahiran, quick ball movement on the perimeter for the Lions on this set. Under 3.5 to go. Try to get Shane Mahiran in the post, ducking in, or Howard, either one.
They had him there, I think.
Probably could have got it to him. Not sure really that's the game
Yeah,
plan.
Is that what they want to do?
Right. Petmeyer drives in. Again, law of verticality. Big dog goes straight up with him. Brown wants the foul, but he's got just as much right to go straight up as the offensive player. You know, you got to pick and choose your battles with the officials, Brown.
Wish we could corral that rebound, but it goes off of Jake's hands, and they get another possession.
3:08 to play, near turnover. They got it to Fleming. Kick it back out to Petmeyer. Fleming come out, was going to offer a screen. They'll call their half-court set. They'll put Howard on the block. Fleming has it. Well run, guys, off the screens on the block. Fleming into the paint and counted and one. A nice spin move against Harrison. And a foul on Harrison will be the Senators' first of the half and Sanford's first of the night. Fleming breaks the tie. 22-20. Shane McHuron to check back in after a very quick breather. Fleming knocks down the free throw. 7 points for the Lions in this quarter, 23-20. Their largest lead of the night. No off of full court pressure. Parker and Holden will bring it up. They'll clear out now. Parker brings it up against Petmeyer. Into the front court they come to Sanford. Holden comes off the screen, drives, pull up, baseline jumper off the side of the backboard. Fleming now the push in transition. Holden with the near swipe from behind. Out to Grant Mahurin. Three on the way is good. Make it 26-20. And Grant Mahurin, what a time for his first basket of the night. 26-20. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Holden gets it back. They'll skip it across now to Parker. Back out to Harrison. Salem cheer block starts to pick things up. Haven't heard much from them tonight. Holden to try to answer, shoots an air ball. It comes off into the hands of Jake Strange. And he had it poked away. The Lions in control right now with a 6-point lead. Howard will check out of the ball game. Meade back in. So on the reset, I have a timeout on the floor though first. It's going to be a full timeout. Coach Sullivan trying to rally and gather the troops.
10-1 scoring this quarter, Salem.
So Coach Sullivan burns the full timeout. 2:06 to play here in the third. He's got a full and a 30 left in his pocket. We'll step aside, take a break here from Ace Hardware and come back with more third quarter action right after
this. Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood. With expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Our team at Ace Hardware of Salem is here to answer your questions and help you find what you need. Stop in today and see why we're your home convenience store.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back out of the timeout for Coach Sullivan and company. 2:06 to go. 26-20. Salem's claimed the lead here in this second half.
Senators, 2:06 to go. If we get down in this type of game, you get down by more than 6 or 8, it feels like double digits. So you need to dig down, get some stops, and hopefully get a couple of scores here before this quarter ends.
Salem cheer block started the "We Got Spirit" chant as Holden gets a deflection on the steal and draws contact, counted and one. Woo. Talk about shifty and nifty and smart with the rock, Coach. He not only drew the contact, but flipped it up at the last minute.
Yeah, absolutely. The Senators desperately needed a play. Holden comes up with one. Still, but we got to hit free throws. 1 of 5 or 2 of 5 from the line.
Third personal against the Lions. Holden able to rattle that one home. He's into double figures with 10. Make it 26-23, 2-2-1 pressure. Nash Hupp, the 5'8 junior, back in for his second appearance of the night off the bench for Coach Sullivan. Farmer on the bench. Salem cheer block, though, started that chant a while ago. Senator cheer block answered. Salem cheer block starts yelling scoreboard, and the Senator fans in the cheer block
by Big Dog and can't get the rebound.
Senator fans in the cheer block, Coach, start pointing to the regional championship T-shirts. Gotta love it. Buck 21 to play here in the third after the block from Strange. We'll go back to the Lions, and on the dribble drive, we'll have a foul out front. This will be team foul number 2, and for Huff, his first of the night.
Big Dog has 5 blocks on the game, but can't seem to corral the rebound off of.
Petmeyer out front. Tries to clear space. Holden picks his pocket again. Turnover number 10. Holden to the other end. Layup's good. 5 straight for Holden. And it's a 26-25 ball game. Little flurry. Nash with the near steal. Turnover. Senators come up with the steal in transition. Holden works it on the break. Out to Parker. Steps into a 3. That one in and out, no good. But a big rebound by Harrison Sanford on the offensive glass. And the Senators now start to roar back themselves.
That's what we needed this last 2 minutes. Nash got a couple deflections, Holden with a couple steals.
The out of bounds on the rebounding foul. Petmeyer will come out after the turnover and take a little bit of a chewing from Coach Brown. Shane Mahurin also will check out. 5th turnover of the quarter, 11th of the game for the Lions. 26-25, Salem in front by 1. Harrison thought about the rare 3. Quickly picked up by Grant Mahurin. 40 seconds to play.
Big dog.
Huff with it on the far side. Nowhere to go with it. Sends it in the corner. Back out it comes. Dangerous pass again to Holden. They'll go baseline. Short corner. Underneath. Jake spins. Kicks out. Holden 3. Bang! Got it to go. Had it loaded and ready. That is 15 now for Holden, and the Senators' second lead change of the night. Reclaim the lead at 28-26.
Gotta finish.
Jake with the drive baseline will be whistled for a bump and a foul. Fleming took it baseline. All he's got to do is slide over. If he plants his foot on the baseline, there's nowhere to go.
Right.
He has the right to cut that off on the baseline.
Yeah, a little slow getting there, but he picks up his second.
12.6 to play. The foul on Jake, his second. Petmeyer to check back in on the inbounds. 12.5 to play here to close the quarter. The Senators on a bit of a flurry. They were down 26-20. They've went on an 8-0 scoring run since then here in the third. Out front, near 5 count. Grant Mahurin back to Petmeyer. Quick 3. That one will go. The Senators will try to answer. Petmeyer's got 8. Third lead change. Out top. Nash for 3 at the buzzer. That one will be just short. But Salem will take the lead 29-28 off the 3 for Petmeyer in to the 4th and final quarter of play. 29-28. A true slugfest. We said it would be Apollo Creed, Rocky Balboa Part 2, and we're getting that heavyweight bout here. We'll come back with 4th quarter action right after this.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care. Not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
We come to the friendly confines here at the Ron Smith Court. 8 minutes to the finish, or to perhaps overtime. Who knows the way this one's went. Salem 29, Senators 28, and Salem opens up with the rock to begin the 4th and final quarter of regulation. Little 1-3-1 in the half court here offensively for the Lions. Senators using a little bit of a matchup zone, almost more of a morphed 1-1-3, and Jake gets a deflection from behind and is whistled for the reach over. His third. Team foul number 4. Each team with 4 personals in the half. Double stack.
He must have had the hand on the butt or something, because from this angle it didn't look like.
And that's an offensive foul. Holden so clever.
Holden still have 2. He had those 2 quicks. Yes. So he's in good shape.
Picked up 2 quick ones. Hasn't picked one up since then. Actually drew the foul and the turnover, which went on Jefferson, his third, team foul number 5. Holden straight to the hoop, left it off the glass, couldn't get the finish. Jacoby whistled for the travel, thought he was undercut. So turnover number 9 for the Senators, but a great effort at getting up for the board. 7:33 to go. Lions with it against the 2-2-1 pressure, 29-28. They lead the Senators by 1. No one to score yet here and strike first offensively while the iron's hot for both teams coming out of that third quarter of play.
Coach sticking with Nash. Are you looking a little bit more offense? I don't know.
Out front, Jefferson gives it off to Meade. Drives in, was tied up for just a second. Meade's got his second basket. He's been quiet, 31-28. 1 minute gone by here in the fourth. Holden will stop, let traffic clear. Team reset here. Jake has it. They offer a double, a kick out to Huff. He'll kick it, or try to kick it rather, to Parker. Parker thought about giving up the foul. I can tell you right now, by the look in his eye, he was not about to let Myron Meade have a dunk. He'd have put him in the first row first if he had to.
No, he wasn't, but again.
Jake spins, and he'll be bumped with the hip. And if that's on Howard, that will be his fourth. Team foul number 6, so Senators inching closer to the bonus. Substitution. Shane Mahurin will check into the ball game. Howard will set with the 4 personals. 1-4 low set for the Senators, trailing it by 5 at 33-28.
Last 2 times down the floor, we have 2 turnovers, an offensive rebound travel and a tough throwaway.
Holden gets fouled in traffic. That's going to be team foul number 7. And just like that, the Senators in the bonus for the final 6:26. This one will be on Jefferson, and that's big, Coach. That's his 4th. Jefferson with 4, Howard with 4, Jefferson out, Grant Mahurin in. 1-1 for Holden Bousman, a 72% free throw shooter on the year, 2 of 3 tonight. Free throw on the way for Holden, good rotation, left it well short, barely grazed the front iron. Lions will push now, coming up on 6 minutes to play. 3 for Mahurin, nothing but air. And on the backside, board. Fleming able to beat Harrison to the spot. Harrison will pick up his second personal, team foul number 5. So Salem starts to inch closer. It's a bonus basketball from the stripes. 6:16 to go. Lions to inbound in front of their own basket. They'll kick it out top to Meade. Now in the corner to Mahurin. Shane with it, kicks it out now to Meade. Salem will try to be deliberate on this possession here, working with a 5-point cushion, 33-28. Mahurin with it. Over to Grant Mahurin, high post feed Fleming. Ball was poked away by Harrison on the near steal. Salem just trying to play keep away. Surely they won't try to. That's a long time to start trying to chew clock here. We'll see how patient they can be. Maybe trying to draw the Senators into a little half-court, man-to-man situation.
We're going to try and be patient and hope the Senators fall asleep here on the back end.
Trying to go to Fleming. Jake with the partial front across the way on the weak side block. 2.5 gone by here. Holden comes out to offer pressure and start to count on Petmeyer, who got the shove off with the forearm. Petmeyer with it. Goes back to Mahurin. Senators starting to try to trap just a little bit more out of this. Starting to burn some clock, and Meade loses the handle. Turnover number 7, and it was the Lions who fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, they actually throws a bad pass at the half-court line, but Senators got to score. Down 5 with 5 to go. It's going to be a low-scoring contest. Just missed the front end. Somebody's got to put it in the bucket.
See if it's the guy that had the basketball moments ago. Parker instead drives in, takes contact, counted in 1 for Green. Parker hadn't scored since the first quarter when he hit those 2 big triples. So give Parker 8 now on the night, 33-30, 5:03 to play, and Parker to the free throw line, and on the year just a 50% shooter, 8 of 16.
And now this puts a little bit more pressure on Salem. They can't take another 3. Of course, we missed the free throw.
Coach Sullivan going to pull a little bit of hair he's got out. 4:56 and counting. 33-30, one possession ball game. I think when you're a team that struggled like they have and you've lost 4 out of your last 5, why not be aggressive?
Again, nice job, Jake, with the deflection.
Turnover for the Lions, their
Green
second
with the
straight.
steal.
8th of the half and 14th of the game, Coach. Nice drive, Nash Huff off the window for 2. Give Nash his first 2. It's 33-32. Dial up the pressure a little bit. Here come the Senators once again. We've had 2 ties and 3 lead changes. Senators back to within 1. 33-32, coming up on the halfway point of this fourth quarter. Petmeyer on the wing, picked up by Holden, extends pressure, comes out on him, causes him to change direction. Petmeyer double near steal. Harrison was gambling for it. On the swing, into the paint, Mahurin will be fouled on the dribble drive.
Nash, maybe?
And they're going to get Huff, his second, team foul number 6. Grant Mahurin will check out. Jefferson back in with the 4. Let's see if we look to attack him any on our next trip. 4:05 to play. And Senators down 1 at 33-32. Salem will kick it out to Shane Mahurin. Now to Meade. Nash comes out, offers some help. They'll get it to Petmeyer, and they'll start to chew on clock again. 1-point game in a low-scoring battle. Meade has it. Back to Petmeyer. Jefferson swings it across on the sidearm to Meade. Goes high post. Fleming had his shot blocked.
And again, they get the second opportunity.
Going to give it up to Fleming. Jake had the block the first time. No one there, and you let him have a second opportunity, and he went right into the chest of the big dog. Chance for Fleming's second old-fashioned three-point play.
That's happened 6 or 7 times tonight.
Fleming's been the unsung hero off the bench as the 6th man. He's got 10 on the night. Howard to check in with his 4 personals. That free throw missed, though, so it's a 35-32 game, 1-possession game with 3.5 to play. Holden has it out top, off the Huff on the right wing. He'll get it back with the dribble drive, gets into the paint, spin move, floater, got it to go. Holden's been clutch here in the second half, brings it back to a 1-point game at 35-34. Each team in the bonus. Senators have committed 7 personals to Salem's 8. 3:12 and counting in the fourth. 35-34 again. Salem on top by 1. Meade has it near side, way out top, gives it up to Jefferson between the circles, now off to Mahurin. He'll take a screen from Fleming. They'll go corner to Meade. His 3 on the way is good. Meade's got 7 of his 9 in this fourth quarter of play, and it's 38-34, back to a 2-possession ball game. Dangerous pass. Huff trying to get out of trouble, gives it off to Sanford, to Parker. Corner 3 to answer. That one off the mark, no good. Needed that one bad. In transition, the Lions will try to push. Jefferson leaves it off to Mahurin. Back out to Meade. Under 2.5 to play, and Brown will burn a timeout. His first one of the night, a 30-second timeout. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
On the game reset, 30-second timeout taken by the Lions. 2:26 to go in the fourth. It's a 38-34 ball game. Senators down by 4 off of the 3-pointer by Meade in the corner. Each team in the bonus. Salem's committed 8 personals, 7 for the Senators in this half. So both teams in the bonus. Tight ball game. Senators really going to need a stop here and a basket, because if it comes down to free throw shooting, it scares me to
That's
death.
exactly what I was doing. We're 3 of 8, right? 3 of 8 on the night from the line. I mean, you can go to that and the turnovers. That's your ball game.
Senators, though, with just 9 turnovers to 14 on the night for the Lions. So 21 and counting out of the timeout.
This might
Meade
turn
has
into a
Farmer now
free throw
defending on the
contest
drive.
for them.
They're going to go with that little stack on the far side, weaving
That's
guys
5.
around. It's a 5-second count. the Stars and LaRoche both falling asleep.
Holden with another steal.
Turnover number 9 of the half. Holden stops, gives it off to Parker, who thought about stepping into a 3. They'll kick it cross court. Sanford thought about 3. Take the 3. 3 on the way. In and out, no good. Rebound fought for. Kicks out. Green to Bousman. Bang! 3-pointer for Holden. It's 38-37. Minute and a half to play. Holden's got 5 in the quarter. He has turned in another rock-solid performance. 38-37. 90 seconds to the finish. Who will it be? Senators claim the first one in the championship of the Holiday Tourney, 56-47. Fleming nearly had it poked away by Holden again. 75 seconds and counting. Petmeyer out front. Got to know who to foul here. Coach Myers talking to Coach Sullivan up off the bench. And know who to foul in these situations. 62 seconds and counting. We'll come down to the final possession here. Howard. Timeout for Brown. Starting to maybe slip a couple of dirty words at his players here. Tell you what, that's one thing I've noticed about this Salem ball club and this staff. Quick to lose the handle a little bit. They did at the Holiday Tourney as well. Now's not the time to hit the panic button with a 1-point lead. 38-32nd timeout, a full timeout by Coach Brown and the Lions. Will keep it right here and remind fans to stay tuned for our Senator Postgame Show brought to you by Ace Hardware of Salem. Be sure to stop in and check out their January bargains of the month. On the game reset, 55.5 seconds to play. It'll be Salem ball out of the timeout. Both teams in the bonus. Salem clinging to a 38-37 advantage. We'll see what Coach Sullivan and company dial up here on this defensive possession. Not sure if you want Howard touching it in a high post with his back to the basket. You're just asking for Holden or somebody to come and swipe it from behind.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we make them pass it a few times before we start getting into the fouls, right? I mean, I wouldn't foul right away. There's still 55.5 to go. I'd like to see if we can't get a turnover here real quick. But you do not want to fall asleep and give up a layup. Make them earn it at the line. Yeah!
Holden gets the steal off the inbounds, throws it off of Petmeyer. Right in front of the Senator bench, threw it right off of his melon. 53.5 seconds to play. It's a full timeout for Coach Sullivan and company off of turnover number 10 of the half and the 16th of the game for the Lions.
Holden, steal.
It's been an epic meltdown for the Lions here, who had as much as a 6-point lead at 26-20. We'll see what Coach Sullivan dials up here with 53.5 to go. The only thing is, the way Salem's been playing defensively, you can't wait too late to go. If you wait too late, you got to make sure you give yourself enough of a cushion. If you get a miss or a bad spot, you need a time to foul and then give yourself time on that next possession.
You obviously, you want to give yourself time for an offensive rebound. If you don't, you miss the shot. Like you said, Salem gets the rebound. You got to give up the foul, but you also, like you said, make sure there's enough time to come down, hit the tray for the win, or overtime if need be. But let's just score here and put the pressure on the guys in black.
So out of the timeout by Coach Sullivan, he's got a 30-second timeout in his pocket. Brown has 2 fulls and a 30. 53.5 seconds to play. Parker to inbound at the end of the scorer's bench here in front of Claude. LaRoche lets traffic clear out of the huddles, and Parker to inbound. He gets it into Holden. Parker has it off the handoff to Harrison on the far side. 46 seconds and counting in the corner. Parker has it, drives off the window, couldn't get the shot to fall, fighting for the rebound. Harrison comes up with it. Back out to Holden, and he'll be fouled from behind with 36.6 on the clock. And Brown going to argue with LaRoche again on the personal. You know what, if you're Salem, how about you come up with a rebound, much like the Senators could not do on one of their previous defensive trips.
Now here comes, like we said, we have struggled mightily from the free throw line.
9th foul against the Salem Lions in the half, and for Grant McCurran, his 3rd, Holden to the free throw line. And the first one is on its way and good. This young man. Ooh. Yeah, I'm taking him with my first pick on the playground if I've got a choice and I'm a captain at recess, Coach.
Yeah.
Second one on the way. In and out. No good. Rebound off to the Senators. Coach Sullivan's got a timeout. Holden with it. He'll drive. Floater. Got it to go with 28 seconds to play.
And he got the steal.
That's a timeout.
Oh! Tar ball anyway. Holden with the steal again.
Holden got the steal at half court. Coach Sullivan was on the floor calling the timeout. LaRoche talking to Starr about it at half court. Excuse me, the Star's talking about it. .8 on the clock, and now Brown is pitching a fit on the floor. It's the right call. Parker was on the floor begging for a timeout, and Coach Sullivan had stepped out past the lettering on the floor to call for one.
But again, how clutch has Holden been? Oh my goodness. I think we were both like, hey, let's bring it out. But no, he's like attack mode. Floater in the lane. Paul George, count it. But again, 3 steals in this quarter, 5 steals in the second half.
He's got 23 points too. Just absolutely dominating Salem here in the second half of play.
7 rebounds.
40 to 38.
4 assists.
So Holden missed on the...
Oh, this is far from over, 21-8.
Holden missed on the backside of the 2-shot attempt. It was tied up.
Farmer got the rebound.
It was tied up at 38 apiece. Farmer gets the offensive board. They kick it out. Holden drives in, gets the floater, gives the Senators the lead back. 4th lead change of the game, 40 to 38. And the Senators come up with a steal and get a timeout.
Situation
Coach Sullivan's out. Salem's got 2
so got to get it
and
inbounds.
a 30.
Got to get it inbounds.
They get it into Holden, right person to get it to. They're going to have to foul him. Going to have to give it up. Make him come and get you. They're going to send it across to Harrison. Back to Parker.
11.4.
One.
Parker's 0 for 1 tonight.
It's going to be double bonus because that's the 10th foul on the Lions. Poor Harrison was trying to give it up because he's been on the struggle bus. Just a 50% free throw shooter, 4 of 8 on the year.
These are too big. Makes it 2 possessions.
Needs at least one of these 2.
Yeah,
come on,
one
Big
make
Daddy.
It 3.
First one on the way. Got it to go.
Oh, I thought it was Parker. They got Harrison.
Yeah, he did too. You're out, Clayton. Come over to the scores bench to ask how many he had. He's out. Harrison needs this one bad. That one long. Rebound off to Mahurin. 41-38. 7 seconds to play. Petmeyer, top of the key. 3. Got it to go! Time's going to expire here.
Got overtime.
And what a finish to this one. Petmeyer with the big 3. He has 11 in this one. And how fitting. This one's going to go to extra basketball. Overtime. No other way to have it with the Senators and Lions. We're going to get 4 minutes of bonus basketballs. Petmeyer knocks down to 3. 41-41 at the end of regulation. Senators have committed 7 personals, so the Lions still in the bonus. Lions have committed 10, so the Senators are shooting the double bonus with 4 minutes to go. Extra session upcoming. Senators, good news for them. Nobody in foul trouble. Jake's got 3. Holden's got 2. Harrison's got 2. Huff has 2. For the Lions, though, Jefferson has 4. Mahurin has 3. And Trell Howard has 4. I'm speechless. What a flurry and what a finish here to the end of regulation, Coach.
And it comes down, Senators, they're 4 of 9 from the free throw line in the second half, 2 of 6 in the fourth. Could have put it away, but you got some extra basketball on Wednesday night.
Just have to wonder, though, overtime, emotional game, kind of like Friday night. Then you're staring down the barrel at a double dip weekend, coming off of 1 day's rest in between tomorrow. Tell you what, I'm not so sure if I'm Coach Sullivan. I don't just spend the day doing a walkthrough and nothing but free throws tomorrow to rest the legs and get us at the stripe to get reps. Senators will have their starting 5 on the floor to begin the overtime period. For the Lions, it'll be Fleming with Grant Mahurin, Shane Mahurin, Myron Mead, and Pep Meyer, who hit the 3 to send it to overtime. Lions with 17 turnovers in this one. Senators with 9 turnovers. And in the OT session on the tip, the Lions control like they did to start the game, so the Senators have the arrow in their favor. 15 seconds into the overtime period, 41-41. Mead, Fleming, Mahurin, and Pep Meyer for the Lions. Senators with their starting 5 of Green, Bausman, Sanford, Farmer, and Strange. Grant Mahurin off to Brody Petmeyer, has his pocket pick. Guess who? Number 11 with another steal. In transition, Parker on the kick out, sends it cross court to Harrison. Harrison will dribble out of trouble, back to Parker. Senators with their first chance here offensively. Holden drives, nowhere to go, cut off, leaves it for the big dog. They'll swing it back out top. Holden gets it on the reset. Jake in the paint, sends it across to Harrison. Back out to Parker for 3. That one long, and Meade skies for the rebound. Turnover for the Lions on their first possession of the overtime period. Senators with a good look, but couldn't get it to go. Just over a minute gone by here in the overtime session. 2:48 and counting. Petmeyer back to work between the circles. Sends it high post right side now to Fleming. Fleming looking for Petmeyer off the curl. They get it to him into the paint. He'll leave it off for Shane Mahurin, picked up by Jake. Senators in the man-to-man, again not battling foul trouble. Petmeyer with it, picked up by Holden, who's got the better of that battle tonight. Under 2.5 to play in the overtime session. Senators again sticking with the man-to-man on this trip. Meade underneath, long verticality, missed the shot. Brown wants a foul. Will push in transition. Holden stops, gives it off to the trailer, Harrison. Harrison gets it back from Green. Now to Holden. He'll drive, take it in, reverse scoop, won't go off the window. Coming up on the 2-minute mark here. 2-minute warning in the overtime session, halfway through. Bonus basketball, 41-41. Neither team to score yet in this overtime period. Minute 53 and counting. Out front, Mahurin off to Petmeyer. Petmeyer will bring it back out of trouble. Give it off to Shane Mahurin. Looks for cutters through the paint. This is going to come down to free throws, Coach, or a big play on the defensive end. Senators with
Fleming wasn't looking, and it bounced off his knee right back to him.
He'll drive against Sanford. Drive in, leaves the shot short, and it'll be a foul. So a trip to the line for Fleming with $1:29 to play. And the foul's going to go on Sanford, his 3rd, team foul number 8. Petmeyer's going to come over and plead for contact or maybe a whistle. He'll talk to Craig Starr, and we'll get ready for the free throws upcoming. And that one in and out, no good for Fleming, who's now missed 2 in a row. Fleming, again, an unsung hero off the bench. 10 points. Looking for his 11th, trying to break this tie at 41 apiece. And he does. 5th lead change of the night. Gives the Lions the 42-41 edge.
Gotta have a bucket.
In the game for Fleming. 1:25 and counting in overtime. Senators back to the offensive end. High post. Parker turns, draws contact, no whistle, but gets the bucket against Howard. So Parker puts the Senators back out in front at 43-42. 6th lead change. And then an and one opportunity at the other end for the Lions on the drive and take. This one will be on Harrison, 2 straight for him, his 4th, team foul number 9. Senators get caught sleeping. Check that, they're going to get the big dog, Jake Strange, for his 5th instead. So Jake will foul out. 1:11 to play. 44-43. Petmeyer with the and one opportunity. Long on the free throw, though. Back to the other end, 44-43. Holden in the paint, sends it over to Huff. Pump fake, steps into a jumper and got it to go off the bench. 2 big ones for Huff to the other end. Senators back out in front. 8th lead change of the night. 45-41 and another, 45-44 and another and one opportunity for the Lions.
Howard.
This one's going to go on Farmer, his 3rd. Both teams now into the double bonus. 52.1. Howard with the basket. His 6th point of the night.
Just not getting back on defense and getting set.
Free throw skies off the back iron and somehow falls through. So Howard's got 7 on the night. 47-45, 2-point game, 52.1 on the clock. Coach, it's been a struggle for us at times tonight, falling asleep with defensive assignments between that and the missed free throws. Again, if you're Coach Sullivan, it's enough to cause that BP to start to swell a little bit.
Absolutely. That's like I said, every time, and give credit to Salem. Every time we go on a little run, they find a way to get the lead back because both teams are going at it. Like you said, you equated this to a heavyweight match, and all game long it's been punch, counter punch. Let's see who ends up. Right now, it's Senator's turn to be offensive. So somebody's got to come down, make a shot. That puts the pressure back on Salem. So, there's nothing, don't freak out. There's still 52 seconds left. You're only down one possession ball game. So just come down, run a nice set, get a bucket, pressure goes back to them.
52.1 on the clock, 47-45. Both teams in the double bonus. Senators with the basketball to take it the length of the floor. Again, you find yourself in the same situation. You want to go, but not too quick, but yet quick enough to give yourself a cushion in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, just come down, run your normal set.
Fans have been treated to a doozy here tonight. Under 50 seconds to play. Right side, Huff has it. Brings it back across. He's in a bit of trouble. He'll try to go to Holden on the dribble handoff and does. Keep it in this fella's hands. Holden underneath, feeds it to Farmer, skips it across, dangerous pass to Sanford, back to Parker. Now to Holden, 30 seconds to play. We got to go. Under 30 seconds. Parker has it out top. Come back and get it, young fella. Holden needs to get it, working against Mahurin. He says bring it to this side of the floor. He picks up the dribble. And we'll have a timeout for Coach Sullivan, a full timeout with 16 seconds to play. Really going to have to go quick out of the timeout.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Now you got to go quick.
So we'll step aside. I'll tell you what, we'll get a break in and we'll hear a word from Ernstberger Orthodontics, and we'll come back with the conclusion of this overtime right after this.
Hello, it's Dr. Seth again from Ernstberger Orthodontics. Now, we've been tackling crooked teeth and bad bites with braces and Invisalign out of our Salem location for a while, and we absolutely love coming to the new office. We're so pumped to be able to offer a local option for folks wanting to improve their smile without so much driving and missed work and school. Not to mention, we're loving getting to know and support the wonderful Washington County schools, teams, and communities. It's time for you or your family, smile with us at Ernstberger Orthodontics in New Albany and now Salem.
Coach Sullivan earning that coaching paycheck again here tonight, sweating this one out. 47-45, Senators to inbound. Parker into Holden, gets it right back. Parker will spin, give it off to Holden. He'll drive, spin into the paint, right at the window. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound comes off, though. Rebound comes off to Fleming. Holden had a shot at it. Beautiful spin move in traffic. Ooh. Going to be a timeout on the floor here for Mike Brown. 5.5 seconds to play. 47-45. Got to know who to foul. You can't get a better look, Coach.
No, he was right at the rim. He just left it a little long. He's right at the rim. It bounces off the back iron and didn't go. So now you got to hope for a miss. Rebound, quick outlet.
See what we got here out of the timeout. 5.5 seconds. It's going to be a full timeout now for Salem. So with 5.5 seconds to play, let's step aside and get a word in from American Flea Market, and we'll come back with more right after this.
Come visit America Flea Market in Salem. We've got over 22,000 square feet of treasures and one of the largest indoor flea markets in Kentuckiana. Located at 110 Progress Boulevard in Salem, we're one of the ultimate destinations for picking and saving and a fun place to shop. We have over 70 vendors and a huge selection of new, used, antique, primitive, and vintage items. Beat the heat. Stop in our air-conditioned store. Come and see us Tuesday through Sunday. We open up at 11 a.m. America Flea Market, where pickers pick and shoppers save.
Salem to inbound, 5.5 seconds to play. Senators got to hope for a quick steal, or they better get a really quick foul. Senators with Farmer, Sanford, Green, Bousman, and Huff on the floor. Jake fouled out. They'll try to throw it long. Holden will come up with the near steal, and it's out of bounds off of Salem.
2.6 to go.
Turnover number 13 since the start of the second half. 19th turnover of the game for the Lions. 2.6 on the clock. Ooh, I hope Coach Sullivan worked his magic in that timeout that he had. Gonna have to go quick. Parker to inbound in front of the Salem cheer block. He'll throw it in to Harrison. He'll throw it in the corner. Huff for three in the win. Got it to go! Got it to go! He got it to go! 48-47! He got it to go, and the Senators have stormed the court! Woo-hoo! Yeehaw! 48-47, Nash Huff, gotta get you some! Woo! Mercy sakes alive!
I'll be
honest.
honest.
He's a killer!
I thought I heard the buzzer. Oh, it's too late. So, oh, man.
Nash
what
Huff's
a play.
arm is blood red. Oh, Lordy. Woo! Oh, Nash Huff, stone cold killer.
He likes playing the Lions.
He is a Lion Slayer.
7 points tonight.
Woo! Huff for three at the buzzer. 48-47. Senators win an absolute classic in this one. Woo! Oh, Lordy, and the Senator fans still on their feet, fans on the floor. Woo! Get your money's worth. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Nash Huff, Lion killer.
Oh.
For that play. I mean, that's a great play. Great play designed by Coach Sullivan. Awesome.
Nice. Oh, Lordy. That's a good one. 5.5 seconds to play. Salem had to go the length of the floor, protect a 1-point lead, and Holden skies for it. Deflects it. They run it down in the corner. It goes off a Salem player. 2.6 left. Senators get the long pass from Green to Harrison in the front court. Harrison turns, one dribble, sends it in the corner to Huff, and Huff slays the Lions with his three-point shooting once again. Again, the Senators win it in overtime on a last-second three-pointer by Nash Huff to give the Senators the victory here tonight. We'll step aside. We're going to catch our breath. I am burning up, Coach. I am sweltering.
Yeah, burning up this Jill pen with these stats.
Book's a mess. I don't even care. Bottom line, Senators get the dub
7
tonight.
in a row. How about that? The number 10 Senators just cracked the coaches poll in 1A, number 10. So, again, 7 in a row. And I know he was disappointed at the end of that Edinburgh game. And you know, I can see why young coaches want to make a statement, but you cannot be unhappy with 7 in a row.
Oh, my Lordy. Hey, I got to take a break. I got to get a drink. I got to get cooled off, and we got to come back for our post-game show. This one's going to be a dandy, folks. People's going to enjoy this one on the way home. Trust me. We'll be back right after this.
At American Family Insurance, we know your life has many moving parts, from your 4 wheels to your hard-earned home and the financial future of your family. We'll cover the things that matter most. Bundle your home and auto policies for possible savings and add life insurance for convenient, future-focused protection so you can keep dreaming towards what's next. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
For details, contact Rodney Bruff, agent at Rodney S. Bruff Agency Incorporated. Call 812-277-1400 or stop by 1528 L Street in Bedford today.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sidelines, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Come back to the Ron Smith court to what was my ringtone for so long for Coach Bousman when he would dial it up. And I know tonight he was watching this one and he was absolutely losing his mind. Senators win a thriller, 48-47 off of a made three-pointer at the buzzer from Nash Huff. Woo! Ice water in the veins for that young man against the Lions in both meetings. He had the 3 big triples against the Lions in the third quarter of the Holiday Tourney Championship, where the Senators went on a 23-9 run to seize control of that first meeting. And tonight, a big-time shot. You know, he's kind of like Robert Ory. We'll start calling him Big Shot Bob maybe a little bit, because he had
Straight
ice water.
Cash Nash.
And, you know, the weird part of it was he's got that high-arcing shot. I didn't see it as high-arcing maybe as normal, but I think sometimes when you just let it fly,
right,
you know, maybe it's a little bit more natural. Nonetheless, he soaks the bottom of the nylon, and the Senators escape, and poor Coach Sullivan makes his way down the steps right now. Shirts untucked. This guy exhausted mentally, emotionally, and probably physically spent as well.
Shirts untucked. I don't think he even started with a tie. He's
no,
not
he
a tie
didn't.
guy.
But he looks like he's been in a street fight.
From the Perry Central game, which was a street fight, to what he thought was kind of a sloppy ending to Saturday's game, to this one, I'm sure he's ready. That was Coach, a great play, Coach.
Oh. We're going to find out. I don't know if this is the way that he drew it up or not. 23. hold on just a second. 10, 20, 33. I've got 33, 43, and 5. Gives me 48. Senators, the victors here tonight in an absolute thriller. Coach, I said as you were coming down the stairs, you got that shirt untucked and halfway unbuttoned already. You guys look like you've been in a street fight, emotionally, physically, just mentally spent in this one. Take us through that last sequence of timeouts. I know that you can't predict what's going on. Is that certain setup that you had at half court something that you had drawn up just in case? Is that something you've kind of worked on, or was this kind of the boys ad-libbing and you directing traffic there late?
So what happened was that first timeout that got called, I actually thought we fouled. So I was drawing up a play with 5 seconds to go thinking, well, we're going to be down 4. We need to get something going this direction. We've never ran that before. I just drew it up on the board, but I drew it up that first timeout. So then the coaches are on me like, no, they called timeout. We didn't foul. I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm glad they called the second timeout so we could set up the defense. So we set up the defense. We wanted full denial. And we said as soon as the ball gets in, we got to foul. We have no choice. There's not enough time to get a trap. So that was the plan. But we discussed. I said, boys, it would be a shame for us to get beat on an over-the-top layup. So I said, whatever you do, make sure you're in position to where that doesn't happen. So they went for it anyway, and thank goodness for us they tried to do it against, I believe, Holden.
Yes.
That's a big mistake. Great athlete. He knows spacing. So he was in the right position at the right time. We're able to get it knocked out. I don't have any timeouts, so I just said, run the play I drew up 2 timeouts ago that I thought we needed to run earlier. So they ran it. Nash started on the wrong wing. I needed him on strong side. So we got him back over where he was supposed to be. And then from there, you saw what happened.
The rest, as they say, will live in infamy and history as the Senators win the thriller. And I tell you what, if you're a Lions fan and you're leaving this one, you're probably scratching your head a little bit. A, thinking, where'd Nash Huff come from on the scouting report? Secondly, the guy soaked 3 in the middle of a 23-9 third quarter in the first meeting. How's he not on the scouting report the second time around? Nobody even close to him.
Yeah, it's not like the first bucket he hit tonight. He hit a couple really nice pull-up J's from that right wing area.
The jumper late
was
huge.
Yes, he's hit some shots. So we felt confident when Jake fell out and putting him in there. We wanted another shooter on the floor to give ourselves some more options. Right place, right time. I don't know if they just didn't see him or they were just it's probably a situation where you're so concerned about holding Bowsman at half court that you did not want him to catch the ball. Luckily for us, got that ball to Harrison, got it high. Harrison's a leaper, we're able to get up and get it. And I could hear Nash. I was actually watching Harrison. I could hear Nash in my ear. One more, clapping. He wanted it. He wanted that last shot. Great one more pass and a great shot.
Kind of fitting that we talked about in the pregame, getting production from your guys coming off the bench. And while we didn't see Brown and Lopp in this one tonight, because they played a little bit more on the JV tonight, for a guy like Huff, he proved a couple.
He defended well. He moved well in the zone, and he was able, be a threat on the offensive side as well.
And I tell you what, tonight it's a battle of really unsung heroes in this one, as Fleming comes off the bench for the Lions, has 11 in the game.
Appreciate it.
And then, Nash comes in, has 7, has the game winner. So guys that, I know for you guys, Fleming maybe wasn't flying under the radar on your scout report like a guy like Nash was. But then you look, Parker has double figures. He's into 10 on the night. And I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the play that he gives you, the energy that he gives you, and the versatility that he gives you just speaks volumes about his talent and what he's willing to do, because he'll sacrifice his body at the defensive end, come up with monster plays. He did that several times, several steals here tonight, but he shares the ball well, and of course, able to score. I felt bad for him. He had a good look on the spin move in traffic at point-blank range to try to get us right back to square one there late. Couldn't get it to go. But, I've said it lately in some of these games, the ball doesn't lie. And while he missed that one, there was something bigger that was meant to be to end this one.
Yeah, he had a great look. And I got mad in our timeout because I said, yeah, they're shading Holden's side in that zone. Obviously. I don't care. Get him the ball anyway. If he's got to come up higher, get Holden the basketball. And Holden, when you get the ball, your job is to go to the rack. There ain't a kid out there that's going to stay in front of you. So you get to the lane and do your thing. And he did, and he had a great look. Didn't fall, but like you said, bigger things were meant to be. The defensive play that he made to get that knock out of bounds off of Salem with 2 seconds to go, and then how it ended, it's awesome. Awesome feeling.
I know that for you, at one point I said, if I was coach, I'd be ready to pull my hair out, although he doesn't have a lot. You got that fresh fade working, but the free throws again, just 5 of 12 on the night. You got to think back. If he doesn't make that shot, we get beat by 2, you're sitting and looking at a scorebook most of the day tomorrow, sick to your stomach at 5 of 12 from the line again.
I know it. It's something that we work on daily
I
now.
know.
We're trying, and it's just, I feel like part of it is we get up there and we rush. It's like, we get up there and it's like we do our thing and then it's like, whoosh. I'm like, guys, take your time, take a deep breath, exhale, put it in like you do every single day in practice. They are more than capable of putting them in. We're just going to continue to put in time, and surely by, next few games into the season, we'll have that figured out.
And one final note on this one, Coach, to bring up, you forced the Lions into 19 turnovers on the night, 13 of those, 19 coming after the half. Your team, just 4 turnovers through the second half and the overtime session. So kudos to your guys for taking good care of the rock there in the final 2 quarters of play. And in the overtime, there wasn't a lot of, there were some pressure moments, but neither team really crumbled too much in the overtime until Salem did late.
Yeah, I think a big thing that happened was they got up and they tried to ice it a little bit.
Yeah,
and that's
way too early.
That's not their thing. So the kids didn't know really what to do with it, and they got a little loose with the ball. Holden got hands on balls, and we were able to get out and go. So I think that, contributed a little bit. They tried to pull it out when the game wasn't quite over yet.
So 3 games in 4 days. 1 day now to get ready for 2 big games over the weekend. A conference game with Valley coming in Friday night, New Wash on Saturday. I said if I was you, after a game like this where the kids are going to be exhausted, big game emotionally, maybe tomorrow's a day where you do a lot of walkthrough, a lot of film, and a lot of free throws. Is that the case?
That's exactly right. We're going to come in. We're going to talk about Springs Valley, break them down, come out onto the court, break down some of the stuff they like to run, what they like to do, get up some shots, get up some free throws, and get out of here. That was I'm spent, and I just stood on the sideline.
You didn't just stand on the sideline. Didn't just stand on the sideline, but, Coach, as a senator, it's this type of game and environment and these types of moments that makes you extra proud to be a part of Senator Nation. And tonight, that shot going in just made my week, and I know it did for many of the Senator fans, here tonight. It did for you, a big sigh of relief for you to get this one. Now your team has won 7 straight. We wish you all the best heading into the weekend, and we'll talk to you prior to the tip Friday night against Valley.
All right, I really appreciate it.
Coach Sullivan's group delivers here tonight in an absolute thriller over the Lions with a 3-pointer made at the buzzer in overtime to win it 48-47 over the Lions. Individual scoring for both of these ball clubs. First for the Lions, they have now slipped. 4 of their last 6 games have resulted in a loss, and they dip below 500 at 5-6 on the year. 19 turnovers on the night. As I said, 13 of those 19 coming after the halftime break. They get 2 players in double figures tonight. Brody Petmeyer leads the team with 13 points in this one, including the big 3 that sent us to overtime to begin with when they were down 41-38. 11 for Gavin Fleming off the bench. 9 for Myron Mead, and a quiet night for him. Isaiah Jefferson chips in 4. Trell Howard with 7. And off the bench, Grant Mahurin chips in 3. Shane Mahurin played but did not tally in this one for the Lions in the loss tonight. 47 points in all on the board. They were just 5 of 9 from the stripe for 56% on the night. But again, those 9 for Harrison Sanford, 3 for Jake Strange. Chase Farmer started but did not score. And off the bench, Nash Huff plays as the 6-man superstar and has the shot and play of the night with the pass off from Parker to Harrison in the front court with 2.6 on the clock. Harrison skies up, catches, turns, passes it on to Nash, wide open in this left corner at the end of the Senator bench. And that was all she wrote. Nothing but string music for Huff as he chips in 7 off the pine tonight. 48 points in all in the win in overtime. Senators 5 of 12 on the night from the line for 42%. And they turn it over just 9 times. Turnovers have been big. Senators are on the +2 side of the assist to turnover ratio. They're coming in to tonight, at least. They were averaging almost 15 assists per game and giving up about 13 turnovers per contest. But tonight, just 9, and 5 of those 9 came in the first half of play. After the first quarter of play, Senators led it 8-5. They tie the Lions at 11 apiece in the second quarter as the Senators took a 19-16 advantage into the locker room. Lions outscored the Senators, though, 13-9 to take the lead there in the third quarter. They built as much as a 6-point lead at 26-20. Fourth quarter, though, belongs to the Senators. They outscore the Lions 13-12. Force over.
Other side, Salem goes 12 of 26 on 2-pointers for 46%. One thing that they did very well tonight and probably kept them in the game, especially with those 19 turnovers, they went 6 of 11 from downtown for 55%. And again, Pepmeyer went 3 for 3 himself. So he kind of, otherwise this game might have been over with a Senator win in regulation. But overall, the Lions are 18 of 37 for 49%. Again, like I said, they shot really well. Hard to overcome -10 in the turnover column, 19-9. That's fantastic job by the Senators tonight. Rebounding edge does go to Salem, but just by 1, 23-22, and we dominated the offensive glass. 10 offensive boards for the Senators to just 6 for Salem. And you mentioned came in averaging 15 assists. Got that number right on the nose, 15 assists, led by Holden Bausman with 5. Parker Green ended up with 4. Our rebounding leader, was Holden Bausman with 7. Sanford, Farmer, Strange all contribute 4. Big block night for big dog Jake Strange. 6 blocks on the night for Jake Strange. But steals 13 for the Senators to just 5 for Salem, led by a big number by Holden Bausman. 7 steals on the night for Holden. So Holden's lines were 23.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 steals. So that's pretty good. I mean, and honestly, I mean, if you're looking forward to the player of the game, I think you might put that last dagger in there too. I might be a co-players because you can't leave him.
You're reading my mind, Coach. Or you're cheating off my notes.
No, I mean, obviously Holden had a monster game, but the winner was Nash Huff, dagger from the corner. So again, stats. Pretty good night for the Senators, and again, we talked about it in pregame. You got to make good decisions, and for the most part, they did that and took care of the ball.
Almost.
Rebounding wise was pretty good, but big win, big shot, big play call. It's again great win for the Senators.
We'll take our final break here from our post-game sponsor, Ace Hardware. Salem will come back and name our player or players of the game and put a bow on this one as the Senators win the thriller in overtime tonight, 48-47. Back for the final time right after this.
Odds are there's an ace in your neighborhood with expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Our team at Ace Hardware of Salem is here to answer your questions and help you find what you need. Stop in today and see why we're your home convenience store.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
come for the final time inside the friendly confines here, courtside at the Ron Smith Court. Senators win a thriller in an ESPN Instant Classic here tonight over the Lions in this heated rivalry. 48-47 is your final time. To name tonight's player or players of the game, brought to you by Ace Hardware of Salem. Be sure to stop in and check out their January bargains of the month and your player or players of the game. Holden Bousman, what a night for him. 23 points, a game high, to go with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 steals as he continues to light up the stat column, and he's going to be co-player of the night with the guy that delivered the dagger right into the hearts of the Salem faithful to our right, as they were just in shock and awe. Nash Huff, 7 points on the night, the game winner from the deep left corner to bury the Lions as the Senators win their 7th straight now and win it 48-47. And for us, no rest for the weary. One day to rest the voice, and then back at it for a double dip weekend. Coach, final thought.
And it's a big one. We can hopefully, like you said, they can enjoy this one tonight and tomorrow, work on the free throws a little bit, but you got a conference game. And then I mentioned the Senators are number 10 just, in yesterday's poll, coaches poll that came out. New Washington's 15th. So, you got a conference game, which Valley's kind of handed it to us a few times over the last few years. So we need to get that one. Obviously, conference. Want to get another conference win. Then you got a tough New Washington team on Saturday. They're going to be, again, just like last weekend, they're going to be tired after this weekend.
Coach, great job as always on the stats and the color commentary, and we'll see you Friday night back here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here tonight, the Lions get 2 players in double figures. Pep Meyer with 13, Fleming with 11, but it's not enough to counteract Holden Bousman's game-high 23 and the late-game heroics of Nash Huff, who chips in 7, Parker Green with 10, as the Senators defeat the Lions for a second time this season, get a sweep of the county schools, and also have that Holiday Tourney Championship in their hip pocket as well, as they win it here tonight, their 7th straight of the year. They'll be back at home this weekend for a double dip. Friday night, a conference game with the Blackhawks of Springs Valley coming to town. 6 o'clock JV tip. We'll be on the air just after 7 with our Senator tip-off pregame show, and then Saturday night, right back here again on the Ron Smith Court for a matchup with the Mustangs of New Washington. Same time, same channel for that one as well. Before we get off the air tonight, we want to give a final shout out and thank you to the fans that tuned in to our broadcast coverage tonight, whether you've just been joining us on the way home during our post game or whether you've been with us from the start here tonight. And also a big shout out and a thank you to the sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator basketball possible on Salem's WSLM 1220 on the AM dial. Those sponsors, one final